Welcome back everyone to Lore of the Shadow, where I have arrived at Parth Celebrant and I have found Cherdrich. Hello there.
Horn gave you a map. Let me see it.
You are a ways off from home, Pine Lore. This field of Celebrant was the site of a great battle 500 years ago, where my ancestors rode to the aid of the Steward of Gondor against an invading Easterling tribe. Ah, you've met Horn then. You must already know of this battle then. He's a young man, but he is an old man's fascination with history, and is perhaps too keen to speak of the past to anyone who would listen. He said too much at Theoden King, they said, and earned himself a place here in this garrison. I've been here much longer than Horn, I regret to say, and me with 3 daughters left behind in Rohan. It has been too long since I could send word to them. My wife worries. She always has. I wish I was there to console her. She worries, you know. Oh, I'm sorry. You aren't interested in my own travails, are you? Horn gave you your map? Good. Let me look at it. Yes, I see. I have already sifted through most of these locations. Let me mark these 3 for you. Examine these 3 sites, and perhaps you'll find something of use to us. Perhaps I will? But what it is, I have absolutely no idea. Well, it is time to head out and do some sifting. Sifting through rubble, sifting through debris, and sifting through the remains of wolves. When I spoke of sifting earlier, I had forgotten that I am still wearing the thorough title. So I must be sifting thoroughly. Here we go. Now, let's thoroughly dispatch of these shades. New deed, Parth Celebrant Explorer. Wonderful. The Field of Celebrant. Okay, as the first of the 3 locations, you sift through the debris near the base of the pillar, but find nothing of interest. Well, I shall make my way through the shades and find the second site. And I may have to sift through many a shade in order to get there. Ah, here's another location. And we have more shades. And we have rubble. Probably ancient rubble. Alright, here we go. Oh, let's see. How about you do that, you do that, and then you do that. Now, here's a good place to sift. Marked location. You sift through the debris and find a number of arrowheads, but nothing worth keeping. I was going to say, well, maybe I consider the arrowheads to be worth keeping, but then again, I'm not exactly an archer, so perhaps not. Though I suspect that if they're iron-tipped arrows, it's unlikely that they would be of any serviceable condition after all these years. Ah, there's a town of some sort up ahead. A ruined town. I hope I don't have to sift through the entire town. It looks pretty big. And pretty bad shape, too. Oopsie daisy. Hello. Fancy meeting you here. Now, where's a good place around here to sift? Ah, here it is. What's in here? You find a small bronze-worked heirloom amongst the debris. Oh well, nothing of great importance. Well, let's get back to the fortress, garrison, or whatever that is. I found this and a few arrowheads. Nothing great.
What is this? What have you found?
Charity takes the bronze-worked heirloom that you found amongst the debris at one of the battlefield locations and turns it around in his hands. You found this among the rocks? The years have not been kind to it. See how the bronze is bent here and here? A weapon did most of the work on it, and time did the rest. I can't tell what this used to be. Perhaps a decorative addition to a helmet? This gives us no advantage, though, as far as I can see. But it is instructive to think of the things that are left behind. Was this Gondorian, or from a helm of the Erelingas? Or was it Easterling in make? 500 years later, we can't tell. Perhaps I'll give it to my wife when I return to Rohan. She'll be proud of her Cherdrick to bring her such an interesting item. Oh, sorry, Pinelore. I became quite distracted there. While you were away, I received word from a scout in the Rushgore of strange happenings in the swampy lands. Fine Edvrit and Akul's camp is southeast of here on the edge of the Rushgore and see what has happened. Alright, so talk to Edvrit at Akul's camp. Gotcha. It looks like I found the rushes. Now, is there a camp? Well, I think that's a campsite right up there. So maybe this is where I need to go. Yes, it's very definitely a Rohirric campsite. Ah! The Rushgore Explorer. Hello there.
Many unusual things have happened in the Rushgore of late.
Cherdich sent you to me? I'm not surprised. Many unusual things have happened in the Rushgore of late. Alright. Ooh, a 50 incomparable tracery.
I saw a great shadowy shape fall from the sky not long ago.
Shadowy shape. Yes, you can come with me to investigate the shadowy shape if you wish, but first, I need to ensure the safety of the Rushgore. Something has stirred up the creatures in the swampy land, and it is my duty to keep them from becoming a serious threat. I'm not as young as I once was, but my arms are still strong and I can still swing a sword. I may not be able to sit the saddle as I used to, but my legs are stronger than many a younger man's. Together, we will travel in search of the falling shadow and see what there is to see. But first, we must thin back the newly aggressive creatures in the Rushgore. If you help me with this, then you will be sooner underway. Defeat Greatbig, Turtles, and Avank throughout the Rushgore, and then return to me. Then we will search for the place where this falling shadow came to the ground. So, defeat Greatbig in the Rushgore, defeat Avank in the grass, and then Turtles. Okay, I suppose we can do that. Now, is this the first place where you encounter Avank in Lotr? Or I should say, the first place as the game was originally coming out? Because yes, I know you could encounter Avank because in Swanfleet, or in Swanfleet, yeah, I think as early as Swanfleet or Carterland, one of those two. Alright, let's start with this. But that was added well after this area was. Alright, there's a Grodbog there. There's another one. So I'm thinking that this might be the first one that we've actually no, of course not. Of course. No, of course not. They're a Vonk and Dunlin. Oh boy, I am forgetting that. I mean, that's how they wound up probably in Swanfleet, is because of its proximity to Enidwythe. All right, there we go. Ah, yeah. So many things there are in this game. Sometimes it's hard to remember exactly what came when. Now, let's see. I've got one more Avonk to defeat, as well as turtles. That's not a turtle, Avonk, or anything like that. That looks like a Easterling. Now, this is the first time we encountered Easterlings, if I remember correctly. I believe that when this area came out and introducing a new enemy into the game, that of course being the Easterlings. So now I just have to find a couple more turtles and we will be able to report. I think they've retreated for a little while.
I will go with you into the Brown Lands to search for the falling shadow.
I thank you for your hard work against this unusually aggressive creatures of the Rushcore. I would not have wanted to have my post with those threats unmet, but now that I feel that we have earned a time of peace, enough time for us to seek the falling shadow, at any rate, I will need to return before long. While we walk, perhaps you can tell me of your adventures? Why do you smile? I can tell from your face that you have seen more adventures in recent days than even Edfried and in all his years. Can I claim to have the experience? I would be pleased to hear anything you have about yourself. I will go with you into the Brown Lands to search for the falling shadow. Let us look for it far to the southeast. I believe that's where it came to ground. Alright, I will go to the southeast and check for the falling shadow. Now, that's a significant enough clue. Let's just hope it's correct. I have made it into the Brown Lands, and it looks like the mobs have taken a little bit of a jump in level. They're actually higher than me now. Alright, well, let's travel through here. They're only one level above me, so I don't think there'll be much of a problem. So it may be worth a little bit extra XP. Now, I believe that the falling shadow is out in this direction. So you gotta be careful. Beware of the cat. Beware of the Kundalar. Beware of the blue cast sorcerer. Because it looks like they're all over the place. There you go. Maybe I should go and ask them if they've seen a black shadow fall anywhere. What? What's this? This blue token that you have found upon the Kundalar sorcerer bears writing that he cannot comprehend. Perhaps someone at Ethberg, the waypost of the Rohirrim border guard of the Brownlands, may know something about it. Well, we will have to see about that. Right now, we have more of those blue sorcerers. Now, oh my. Well, that's not nice. This corpse of an enormous beast lies broken on the ground. Well, that's the ugliest beast I've ever seen.
This must be the shape my men and I beheld as it plummeted from the sky.
What a terrible creature! What is this? Is that riding gear? Did someone ride astride this terrible creature? And if so, where's the rider? Good question. Well, what do you say about that, Nona?
Something is wrong in this land. Oh, I can feel it.
Yes, this must be why we are here. This is the reason for your dream. Remember the words of Sudovic, my father. Dreams have power. We ignore their warnings at our peril. This beast is dead, but something rode it, and that creature is not here. Your dream brought us here to keep the creature from doing great evil. I can feel it in my very bones. Oh my.
This is the reason for your dream. This is why we are here.
I have never seen a creature as terrible as this, lest it be a mighty worm that my brother slew beneath Zundragun. As you stare into the corpse of the massive beast and contemplate the mangled harness and the missing rider, a single word echoes in your mind. Nazgul. Nona watches you closely. Do you know something about the rider of this beast? Your face tells me that it must be a creature of terrible power. We must find it. We must search for it throughout the land. Look for signs of the passage throughout the lands of the great river. After we have scoured these lands, we will meet back here at the creature. Let this purpose guide our steps. I need to complete the deed, the vanished rider. And that means finding 6 quests. Oh goody. Ah, here's somebody up ahead. I wonder if he saw anything relating to the shadow. Hello.
I have spied upon a camp of the Kundala here in the Brown Lands.
I am Gamal of Stangard. I spied upon the camp of the Kundalar here in the Brownlands. The Easterlings have been gathering a greater number for their time, but something recently has changed. I know very little of their language, only bits and pieces. They speak a fragmented tongue, with some of the words I know and some all thereon. But I think that they speak of some new and powerful ally, Koraton. Excuse me, Okay, you said Koraton. That wasn't Koraton, right? No, I didn't think so. And they call this person that inspires them, but if it is a name or a description, I do not know. If you are of a mind to help me defeat many of the Easterlings here in the Brownlands, and also confront some of the Kundalar that shout messages about this Koraton. If hearing the name inspires the Easterlings to rise against my people, let us make them pay for using that name. Alright, so I need to defeat Easterlings throughout the Brownlands and defeat some message shouters. Alright, I suspect that I'll be killing a lot more than 6 Easterlings before I find these message shouters. And speaking of Easterlings, here's one now. Yeah, I'm very quickly going to hit that quota. Especially if I stop for every Easterling in the area. Piney Needles, I stop for Easterlings. There is the entrance to their camp. The fact that it's a hawk of some sort instead of a horse speaks quite thoroughly that it is not a Rohirrim camp. There we go. Alright. In relationship to the Falcon clan? Oh my goodness gracious. How about we take care of you first? Then we'll take care of the other one. And now, for you! And you. Inside, alright. Ah, a message shouter! You'll be shouting no more messages today. Kuraton, lend me power! Oh, they actually count against the 8 quota. Alright, fine. We can do that. But I presume the cats won't count. You can go. Stop chewing my leg off. Apparently, I found a collar. You found a collar upon one of the wild cats that roamed the Brownlands. Its intricate design is unlike any that you've seen before. Regardless, it is a sign that the cats are not native to the region. Twiga will want to know about this. Alright, whoever Twiga is. Hey, oh, you're a message shouter. Good. I need just one more of those. And I can report. I've investigated the campsite.
I do not like this. The Kundalar are too near to Stangard.
If this Kuraton continues to inspire their forces, it will not be long before they march on the Stangard. I thought of something while you were bringing justice to the Easterlings, Pinelore. The word Kuraton. I think that it's not a name. It is much in a common with the word for black cloak. But the Kundalar do not wear such things. Do you think that they're inspired by a sorcerer of that type? I did not voice my guess to Gamal, but the word that rings in my head is Nazgul. Now let me check in the Rohirric camp to inform them about the collar and the medallion that I found. I have to find somebody who might be interested in all of this. Ah! This looks like somebody who might be interested.
What brings you to these lands?
Alas, you are correct, I fear. These wildcats are not at all wild. They've been trained in the art of war. This collar is of Easterling design, and no doubt belongs to the Kundalar. Well, considering that I found them in the Kundalar camp, I think that is quite likely. Ah, here's somebody who might be interested in the medallion.
What business have you with the Rohirrim?
Hail, Lord Master! What have you got there? Ah, this medallion is of Easterling make, to be sure, but I'm not too sure what it portends. You say that you found it upon one of their sorcerers? Well, that's most likely, then, that it is some sort of sign of their order. Well, that is a puzzle that I'm not going to worry too much about, because I've got another puzzle to solve, and that is, what about that Black Rider? Where is it? And what can I do to keep it from doing any great evil in this area? We have to learn that in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.